that yesterday we learned that the FBI tapped my phone. Let's look at it. We've got a list. Tapped my phone, tapped Lindsey Graham's phone, tapped Marsha Blackburn's phone, tapped 5 other phones of United States senators. Gee, it sure looks like targeting political opponents to me, and yet I haven't heard a word from that side of the dais about any concern whatsoever. We've got nothing but concerns today, but no concern at all.
Yesterday, we learned that the FBI tapped my phone, tapped Lindsey Graham's phone, tapped Marsha Blackburn's phone, tapped 5 other phones of United States senators. Silence fills the room. A U.S. senator claims his phone was tapped by his own government. This is not politics anymore. It is an alarm bell. Subscribe to Mind Vista, where political spin gets dismantled.
They don't like them. They're members of the opposition party. They're Republicans. They're conservatives. You've seen this document, Attorney General Bondi. What was going on here? Who ordered this? Who ordered the tapping of the phones of United States senators?
Hawley's voice cuts through the chamber like a blade. Who ordered the tapping of United States senators? Pam Bondi stays composed, too composed. I cannot discuss the details, for very good reason. Power hides behind caution, and caution in Washington usually means guilt.
Who signed off on it? Who knew about it? You're going to get to the bottom of all of it. Is it correct?
Yes, and I've spoken to Director Patel about it, and he is committed to doing this.
Well, I can tell you, we already know many of the details. We already know that this was ordered by the special prosecutor, Jack Smith, who reported directly to the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland. And we know that Jack Smith was on his witch hunt because he was directed to do so by the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Hawley starts naming names: Jack Smith, Merrick Garland, Joe Biden. He paints a picture of an administration turned inward, a Justice Department that may have forgotten its own justice. The crowd stiffens. This is now a live accusation.
Garland faces growing pressure. The Times says as recently as late last year, that would have been 2021, Mr. Biden confided to his inner circle he believed former President Trump was a threat to democracy and should be prosecuted. It goes on to say that Biden was frustrated with Garland and wanted him to take decisive action against Trump. Here's what we're talking about. Trump, of course, was a private citizen at the time.
Hawley reads from the New York Times, Biden allegedly frustrated with Garland, demanding Trump's prosecution. The implication is clear. The order came from the top. No more speculation. He is connecting the dots in real time.
This is an FBI memo from the same time period, I might add, from the same time period in which the Federal Bureau of Investigation attempts to recruit informants into Catholic parishes in this country. So here you have an administration that is activating the FBI against its political opponents and tapping the phones of United States senators. Can I just say that again for my colleagues, for the benefit of my colleagues on the other side of the dais? Tapping the phones of United States senators. This isn't hypothetical.
This FBI memo shows attempts to recruit informants inside Catholic churches. Hawley's words echo in disbelief. Faith under surveillance, freedom under suspicion, and no one from the other side says a word.
Where Merrick Garland, at the direction of the White House, issued a memo activating the FBI's counterterrorism division against parents who attended school board meetings and had the temerity to ask what their kids were being taught. And some of those parents were treated like this. Let's just remember. Let's remember how parents were treated. Treated like this man.
That's right.
A parent at a school board meeting, I think in Virginia, who was drug out of the school board meeting. He's bloodied there. You can see it. And what was the response of Joe Biden's DOJ and FBI? It was to issue a memorandum saying that people like this ought to be investigated by the counter.
Parents labeled as threats for speaking at school meetings. Hawley shows a father dragged out, bloodied. The image burns deeper than any argument. The question is no longer if there is weaponization, but how deep it goes.
Beautiful family at Mass. This man, at the direction of Joe Biden's FBI, this man had an FBI SWAT team come to his door in the early morning hours with his beautiful children there, terrorizing them with weapons drawn. He was then arrested and prosecuted. Unfortunately, a jury acquitted him. This is what was happening under Joe Biden. United States senators spied upon. Former presidents, the political opponents of the president at the time, targeted, prosecuted. Pro-lifers, targeted, prosecuted. Catholics, targeted, prosecuted. 92 conservative organizations put under surveillance.
This man had an FBI SWAT team at his door for praying outside a clinic. Hawley shows Mark Houck's family, terrified, yet faithful. A jury later cleared him, but the raid still happened. For Hawley, this is the proof. Justice has turned political. Asterisk federal records confirm. Houck was acquitted in 2023 after the FBI raid under the face. Act that the Bureau never denied using armed agents during arrest. Source, Eastern District of Pennsylvania, 2023.
Senator Hawley, that is the ultimate weaponization, and weaponization under Donald Trump has ended. It has ended. Harmeet Dillon is running our civil rights unit, and she is doing an incredible job. No longer will parents be targeted. No longer will parents who care about whether their elementary school children have to read a transgender book be targeted and told they cannot have any say in their child's education. That has ended under this administration. People can worship freely, whether they're Catholics at synagogues or Muslims. Everyone can worship freely. That was the ultimate weaponization. They were targeting Catholics. No longer.
Pam Bondi finally responds, that was the ultimate weaponization. Then she declares, it has ended under this administration. Her words are confident, but the room does not feel convinced. Hawley leans back, listening, measuring every word.
Madam Attorney General, I think we need a special prosecutor to be appointed whose sole responsibility will be to get to the bottom of what has happened in every instance that I have just named. I think we need to know exactly who approved the wiretaps on United States senators, who knew about it, what agents were involved at DOJ or the FBI. I think we need to know exactly who signed off on the Catholic memo, the spying memo, who was involved with it, how far did it go. I think we need to know exactly who authorized the prosecution of Mark Houck, who terrorized pro-lifers.
Hawley is not done. We need a special prosecutor, he demands. We need to know who approved these wiretaps, who ordered them. The hall feels smaller now, like the walls themselves are listening.
Once and for all, and we have a chance to do it, and it needs to be done with a thorough investigation, full transparency, and those who violated laws need to be prosecuted.
This chapter in American history needs to close, never to be opened again. His voice does not shake. It is not anger, it is warning. And for once, even his critics go silent, if Hawley is right. America's justice system crossed a line never meant to be crossed. A government spying on its own lawmakers, that is not democracy. That is fear in uniform. Power unchecked is power abused.
Yeah. Before I call on Blumenthal, I want to, without objection, introduce into the record a document that...
The chairman introduces a declassified FBI document. The crowd leans in. The hearing ends, but the reckoning does not. The truth has already escaped the room. Asterisk, what happens when surveillance turns inward? When oversight becomes a weapon. America has seen scandals before, but never one that cuts this close to its core. This story is far from over. Asterisk, if you love watching spin collapse under facts. Share this video and subscribe to Mind Vista for more fearless breakdowns. Because on this channel, political theater meets the truth.